Simone Del Rosario has been talking to the Lummi Nation about their plans and what feeding the orcas, more importantly, would look like.
Yeah, so I reached out to Lummi Nation as soon as NOAA released these images showing a dramatic decline in the health of J17, known as Princess Angeline. Now, it's a whale that they've been concerned about for some time, and now not only is she continuing to get worse, her youngest daughter is as well. So I was honored to be invited to a sacred ceremonial feeding last month with Lummi Nation, where they gave a spiritual offering to the starving southern resident orcas. Today, they tell me that while spiritual prayer and feeding ceremonies is good for the orca's spirit, the level of starvation they're seeing in the entire population tells them they need to go beyond ceremony.
When you know they're starving, you feed them. And we believe that's the same with Quithomachin. We don't need to wait until she gets a peanut head. We don't need to wait until she's unable to travel with her pod and then attempt to medicate her and feed her. We know what needs to be done now.
When I spoke to NOAA this past Friday about J17's health, I was told they didn't have any plans to medically intervene. They are taking a wait-and-see approach to see if J17, Princess Angeline, and her daughter Kiki get better or worse this summer. They did talk to me about taking breath and fecal samples if the opportunity comes up. Well, Lummi Nation says while we understand NOAA's desire to gather additional information, we also know that the Quithomachin need food right now. We call upon NOAA to work with the Lummi Nation and other partners to provide emergency relief and to come up with a sustainable long-term plan for the Quithomachin survival. Now, Quithomachin in Lummi language means our relatives under the water, the southern residents, and that's the relationship that the Lummis have with the southern residents. And they tell me they have a sacred obligation to take care of them and to feed them like they would any member of their family.
So, Simone, a couple of questions here. What would physically feeding the orca look like? Would you just throw salmon into the water in hopes that they would catch it? And number two, do you think the federal government would get involved here?
So they're still working out the details on this one, but the Lummis tell me they are starting to develop a pilot program to figure out how to take adult Chinook salmon on a boat and put it right in front of the orcas using a chute. Now, they did this last summer with J50. She was a struggling 3.5-year-old calf that ended up dying. And while NOAA was on board with that action last summer, the Lummis are looking to do something far more substantial this time around. It's unclear if the federal government will support it or if they'll look the other way. You know, it's technically illegal to feed marine mammals. I've asked NOAA to comment, and they said that they will get back to me when they hear directly from Lummi Nation. On NOAA's website, though, it talks about the dangers of whales correlating boats with food, but tribes really do have a unique right here as co-managers. It's a bold proposal from the Lummis. They say they're willing to do everything physically and spiritually to feed these whales. And this, of course, in no way takes away from all of the other efforts to get these whales the food that they need through increasing hatchery production, habitat restoration. So the Lummis are pushing for all of this, but they say we need to see immediate action right now, and they want to take a big part in it.
All right, appreciate it.